Missing persons cases open up many psychological aspects, as there is no closure in cases of people disappearing. Family and friends are unable to mourn and move on because there is always that flicker of hope that they could still be alive and would one day turn up. People holding to hope and vivid imagination can simultaneously torture themselves with possible worst-case scenarios. The following disappearance is about a middle-aged woman who vanishes in a small and what appears to be a safe community. Trevaline Evans was born Trevaline Davis on September 6, 1937 in Wales. Evans owned an antique business called Attic Antiques that was located on Church Street, Llangollen. Llangollen is a town situated on the River Dee in Denbighshire, northwest Wales. On Saturday, 16th of June 1990, Evans opened a shop at the usual time of 9:30 a.m. Her dark blue Ford Escort estate was parked 200 yards away. During the morning, some friends and customers had entered the shop and according to her friends, she appeared relaxed and happy. It was a sunny day and the town was fairly busy at that time of day. At around 12:40 p.m, Evans left a note on the front door of his shop saying she would be back in 2 minutes, but she was never seen again. She simply vanished. Witnesses later claimed that one of her last customers was a well-dressed man, but police were never able to locate him. In an attempt to retrace her steps, police were able to ascertain that she bought an apple and a banana and was seen crossing nearby Castle Street, which would have been about a 2-minute walk from her shop. It is obvious that Evans had intended to return to her business that day because she'd left her handbag, car keys, jacket, along with fruit and flowers in the shop. Her car was also parked where she'd left it that morning. The last confirmed sighting of her was close to her business on Market Street at 2:30 p.m. However, there were also 2 unconfirmed sightings about 2:35 p.m. where witnesses described the woman that matched her description walking out of town along the A5 trunk road towards Corwin, which was a distance of approximately 9 miles. Another sighting of a woman matching her description was at 3:45 p.m, who was seen walking into Park Avenue from the direction of the River Dee and Llangollen. In an attempt to locate Trevaline Evans, police underwent a thorough search of Llangollen and interviewed people in their homes and many other people from outside the town. All in all, 1,500 people were interviewed along with 700 cars, but to no avail. Police covered most of the town, including the River Dee, the canal, as well as caves and mines in the area. How could someone suddenly vanish like that? An artist's impression of a man wearing a jacket who was supposedly seen in her company was drawn up and circulated during the investigation that year, but was eventually ruled out as it was no longer accurate. In 1992, a woodland in the World's End area, a district of Chelsea, London, was searched after a tip-off from someone claiming to be a spiritless medium, but they found nothing. In 1993, police sniffer dogs searched a canal bank near Llangollen after a woman wrote to police stating that she'd been overwhelmed by feeling that Trevaline was nearby, but they found no trace of her. Her case ran cold until approximately 11 years later in January 2001, where police decided to reopen the case, hoping that a new forensic technique could offer new evidence. Her husband Richard was arrested in June 2001, but police were unable to find any new evidence or leads, and he was later released without charge. He died in 2015. At the time of her disappearance, Mrs. Evans and her husband had been working at their bungalow in Rutland, where they planned to retire. In 2010, on the 20th anniversary of her disappearance, her case was re-examined, and in September 2011, police started looking into a possible connection between Evans' disappearance and a convicted serial killer named Robin Legas. Legas was serving a life sentence for the murders of 3 men in 1994 and died in 2022. In January 2012, police ruled out any possible connection. As is the case with many disappearances, apparent sightings of Evans had been reported in London, France, with Interpol investigating an assumed sighting there, and even a remote town as far away as Australia. The fact that no money was ever taken from a bank account indicated to police that there was a strong possibility that she'd been abducted and murdered. But for what possible reason? Many years after her disappearance, cryptic messages about an antique dealer who went missing started to appear on benches. One message was found on a bench 30 miles away from my hometown of Llangollen, which read, "In memory of Trevaline Evans, vanished 16th of June 1990. Found Rudland Golf Course 14th of March 2019 and removed 19th of March 2019. Rest in peace." Rudland Golf Club is about 32 miles from Llangollen. Acting on information from brothers Andrew and Lee Sutton, North Wales Police dug up the bar at Rudland Golf Club, but nothing was found. The brothers complained to the Independent Office for Police Conduct about the police handling of the search and was subsequently referred back to the force, but was rejected. The brothers claimed to have seen human remains under the club's floorboards, but said the remains had been removed by the time police carried out the investigation. Andrew, a former chief auditor for Flintshire County Council, who now lives in Milton Keynes in South East England, and Lee, a carpenter from Kinmel Bay in North East Wales, remained convinced about what they saw and at the time considered what steps to take next, but they deny having anything to do with the plaque on the bench or with a similar sign which was placed close to Evans' bungalow in Rudland. Lee Sutton said that he'd been to see the bench after being told about it by a friend, but added, "It's very strange. I don't know who would do that and why they would choose to put it there." He said that he'd been told that shortly before Christmas a group of people held an all-night vigil alongside the bench. His brother Andrew was equally baffled. Another inscription scrawled on a plaque on a Prestatyn hillside read, "Justice awaits those responsible for the removal and disposal of Trevaline Evans, in this life or next, from Rudland Golf Club on March the 19th, 2019 at noon. May the Lord have mercy upon their soul." Prestatyn is a seaside town about 37 miles from Llangollen. The plaque was fixed to a wooden bench at an abandoned 200-year-old miner's cottage. Her disappearance remains shrouded in mystery and continues to leave questions unanswered even after more than 3 decades. Detective Chief Inspector Colin Edwards described the case as the strangest inquiry, echoing the sentiments of a community haunted by uncertainty.